In this video, I'll show you how to install a Bitcoin Blockchain Explorer on your Umbrel node. So once you log into your node, go to the App Store. We'll scroll all the way to the bottom, and we'll go to this BTC RPC Explorer. And then we just click this green install button. It'll download the files it needs and install it on the node. So not on your local computer, but on your node, wherever that's running. Mine's running on a Raspberry Pi. Once it's installed, you click the open button. But now here we are. This is our local node. This is not a public website. We're the only ones that can see this, and it's grabbing information from our Bitcoin node. If we go to blockchain.com, they also run a blockchain explorer, but it's a public one. And if their website goes down, we can't access it. And then also things that we search. If we search a certain address, they might keep track of that and map that to our IP address because they can keep track of people that visit their site. And there's nothing that we can do about that if we're using a public resource, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to run a Bitcoin node in the first place. So we can go here. I've searched a block. We can go to a random address here, and we can copy this address. So we have 51 transactions, 1.21 Bitcoin. If I highlight this address, right-click and go to copy, we can go back to our node. So notice we're still at blockchain.com. That's where we got this information. Now we're over here on our Bitcoin Explorer. We'll paste this address, and we'll see how our new Blockchain Explorer does at finding information about this address. So it takes a minute, has to look it up, find the information, and then present it to us, but it's done it, and it shows us the same information that we would expect. 51 transactions, 1.21 Bitcoin, and all the information actually. We have all the transactions, all 51 of them. We can see who they were from, where they went, all the information about them, just like we would see at blockchain.com. But the only difference is there's no record of us looking this up because we already have all the information downloaded on our Bitcoin node. At any given time, we can search any activity that's ever happened in the history of Bitcoin. We can also paste up here, if we do a block height, we can search a block hash, we can search a transaction ID, all of that stuff we can search, and it shows us information about it. This is the hash associated with this block height, and it matches up. We can see it ends in 4840. So we can kind of verify that the information we're getting from blockchain.com is accurate, which is another good reason to run your own node and your own blockchain explorer. Then you don't have to just trust people. We have about 1.5 megabytes is the size of this block, and all kinds of information about it. So just really cool that we can have our own information here. We can see all the transactions that are included in this block, like this is the reward that was given and some of the other transactions. And even the order is going to be the exact same. The order that we find them on blockchain.com will have the same. Each transaction will be in the same order on our node because the blocks are structured that way. They're always the same. What else can we do? We can search under tools. They have some really cool tools here, especially for some mining insights. So if we go to mining summary, for example, this just shows us in a certain time range. So this is the last day, which mining pools have been submitting blocks. So blocks get submitted every 10 minutes in Bitcoin, and these are the different pools that have submitted. So you can kind of see a percentage-wise who's submitting these blocks, who's doing the mining, where the data is coming from, and you kind of want this to be distributed, not centralized. So it looks pretty distributed here, which is really cool. We can also see how many blocks each pool has done, the reward they've gotten paid, and what percentage of the revenue they're receiving. Another cool tool is this difficulty. So if you do mining yourself, you might be curious about the difficulty so you can know how much the likelihood of turning a profit with mining. So you can search, this is the all-time difficulty. It just goes up and up and up and up. And you can search by yearly or 2 years, 4 years looks like. On the yearly, we see there's been a dip when mining wasn't as profitable, so people didn't mine as much, so the difficulty went down a little bit. There's also this cool thing that's Bitcoin Fun that just shows you, if you want to explore the blockchain, it shows you, for example, the Genesis block, the very first block in Bitcoin. You can look at that on your node. You can look at this transaction where the pizza was purchased, for like a ridiculous millions and millions of dollars. You can look at these, old coins that have moved that nobody knows what they're, who owns them. So it's kind of some interesting things. There's like the first SegWit block and some historical events that you can search on your own Bitcoin node. And then, of course, you can go to your own node details, and this just shows information about your node. It shows the block size, or the size of the whole blockchain, 446 gigabytes, how many blocks there are, the uptime of your node. So just some cool information. Anyway, that's just a quick look at what it looks like to run the Blockchain Explorer on your Bitcoin node. Hopefully you found this video informative. Go ahead and leave your questions or comments below if you have any, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.